When the pirate ship appeared on the horizon, Captain Blackwood knew he would have to choose, protect his wife or protect his heart. But having both was impossible, and he had to decide now. This story took place in the year 1648 on the dangerous waters of the Mediterranean. A story of loyalty, a story of courage, and most of all, a story that reveals what true love really is. This is the tale of the hardest day in Captain Blackwood's life. The merchant ship Golden Star was sailing from Marseille to Venice. Its captain, Lord Alexander Blackwood, was one of England's most experienced seamen. He was 40, tall, black-haired, gray-eyed, a strong, imposing man. A scar ran across his face, a memory of an old pirate attack. But he was still handsome, still powerful. He had spent 15 years at sea, and for 15 years, he had loved only one woman. His wife, Lady Victoria Blackwood. Lady Victoria was 38. Blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin, the classic English beauty. Tall, elegant, always perfectly dressed. But she was cold. No warmth in her face, no affection in her eyes. Her voice was sharp, her manners distant. She had married Alexander 12 years earlier. For money, for status, but not for love. Victoria hated the sea, hated the ship, but she endured everything for Alexander's wealth and title. She had a luxurious cabin, fresh linens every day, special meals prepared for her. But she was unhappy, and she blamed Alexander for it. Alexander did not love his wife. He never had. When he married her, he had been young and naive, obeying his family's decision. Love will come later, they had promised, but it never came. 12 years passed, and love never arrived. Only coldness, silence, indifference. Alexander and Victoria lived separate lives aboard the ship. Separate cabins, separate meals, separate worlds. Only in ports, in front of society, did they act like a happy couple. But once the ship left the shore, the mask fell. Victoria never left her cabin in the mornings, nor in the evenings. She came out only for lunch at the captain's table. They did not speak. Victoria ate quietly, then returned to her room. Alexander would breathe easier afterward. But there was another woman on the ship. Her name was Elena. Elena Rossi was 26, Italian, dark skin, curly black hair, deep brown eyes, medium height, full-figured, usually wearing simple, low-cut dresses. When she smiled, her eyes sparkled. When she spoke, her hands danced. She was lively, warm, real. Elena was not a slave, she was a servant, a free woman, but poor. She had lost her family, lost her home, lost everything. She applied to work on the ship. Alexander had hired her. "You will clean the cabins," he had said. "You will help in the kitchen, and you will be paid fairly like everyone else." Elena had been grateful. "Thank you, Captain," she had said, her eyes filling with tears. "I owe you so much." That first day, Alexander had felt nothing. She was just another worker. But with time, everything changed. Elena was hardworking. She rose before dawn every day, cleaned the cabins, washed the deck, helped in the kitchen. She never complained. But most importantly, she always smiled, and she sang. Alexander truly noticed her for the first time one morning. She was scrubbing the deck while singing an old Italian song. Her voice was soft, warm, comforting. Alexander stopped, listening. How long had it been since he had heard singing? How long since he had heard a woman's warm voice? In the following days, Alexander found himself watching Elena, how she worked, how she spoke to the crew, how she laughed like a child. Elena had a warmth, a genuineness, something Victoria lacked. One morning, Alexander spoke to her. "Good morning, Elena." Elena was surprised. The captain was speaking to her. "Good morning, Captain," she said cheerfully. "You work well. The crew is pleased with you." "Thank you, Captain. You are very kind." Alexander looked at her. Her eyes were warm, sincere. For the first time in years, he saw warmth in a woman's eyes. "Where are you from, Elena?" "From Naples, Captain. A beautiful city. The sea, the sun, the music, everything was beautiful." "Why did you leave?" Elena's smile faded. "My family, the plague came. I lost them all. I was left alone. I had to work to survive." Alexander's heart ached. "I am very sorry." "It's in the past now," she said, though sadness lingered in her eyes. "Now I am here, and I'm grateful. You gave me a job, a chance." "Because you deserved it," Alexander said. Elena looked at him. The captain was gentle, unlike other captains. "You are a good man, Captain." Alexander felt shy. Was I a good man? I didn't know. But when he talked with Elena, he felt like one.
After that day, Alexander spoke to her often. He asked about her life, her dreams. Elena told him about Naples, her home by the sea, the busy markets, the music everywhere. Her father had been a fisherman, her mother a seamstress. It had been a happy family until everything vanished. Alexander listened, truly listened. For the first time in his life, a conversation with a woman wasn't a duty. With Elena, it was a pleasure. Days passed. Every morning, Alexander went up to the deck. He saw Elena. "Good morning," he said. Elena smiled. "Good morning, Captain." Two simple words, yet they lit up Alexander's entire day. One evening, Alexander was sitting alone on the deck, looking up at the stars. Elena came to clean and noticed him. "Captain, are you all right?" "I'm fine, Elena. Just thinking." "What are you thinking about?" Alexander hesitated. Then he chose honesty. "Life. I've spent 15 years on this ship, but I've never been happy." Elena sat beside him, bold, but sincere. "Why?" Because I'm alone. I have a wife, but I'm alone." Elena understood. "You don't love her?" "No, I never did. And she doesn't love me." "That's very sad," Elena said softly. "Everyone deserves to be loved." Alexander looked at her. "You're right. But sometimes life isn't fair." "But we must hope anyway," Elena said, smiling. "Maybe one day you'll find real love." Alexander smiled, for the first time in a very long time. "Maybe," he said. But deep inside, he thought, maybe I already have. After that night, Alexander and Elena grew even closer. Every evening, they talked on the deck about life, dreams, the past. Alexander shared stories of the sea. Elena told him about Naples. They listened to each other. They were happy. The crew noticed. The captain talks to Elena a lot. They whispered. But no one criticized.
because everyone could see it clearly. The captain was happy, truly happy, for the first time. But one person was not happy: Victoria. Victoria watched everything from her cabin window. Her husband laughed with a servant. He smiled, something she hadn't seen in 12 years. But now he smiled for her. Victoria was furious, but she did nothing yet. She simply watched and waited. One day, the ship was sailing off the coast of Sicily. The weather was good, the sea calm. Alexander stood on the deck. Elena approached him. "Captain, may I ask you something?" "Of course, Elena." Are you happy?" Alexander looked at her and chose honesty again. "When I speak with you, yes, I am happy." Elena blushed. I can make you happy, Captain. Very happy." Alexander stepped closer, very close. Their faces were almost touching. "Elena," he said, But at that moment, a scream tore through the air. "Ship! Pirate ship!" Alexander spun around. A lookout shouted from the mast, pointing toward the horizon. Alexander grabbed his telescope. He looked and saw it. A black-sailed ship speeding toward them, a skull on its flag. Pirates. Alexander's heart raced. Pirates were the curse of the Mediterranean, raiding ships, stealing cargo, taking hostages, killing sometimes. "Alarm, now!" Alexander shouted. "Everyone to battle positions!" The crew ran in all directions, grabbing weapons, readying the cannons, adjusting the sails. They would try to escape, but the pirate ship was faster. Alexander rushed toward the cabins. He had to find Victoria. He knocked hard. "Victoria, pirates are coming. Stay in your cabin and lock the door." Victoria opened it. Her face was pale. "Pirates?" "Yes. Go inside, lock the door, and don't come out." "But you? What about you?" "I'll fight, but you must be safe." Alexander turned to leave, but Victoria grabbed his arm. "Alexander, if something happens—" "Nothing will happen, but stay inside, please." Victoria nodded, closed the door, locked it. Alexander ran back to the deck. Elena was there, frightened but refusing to hide. "Elena, why are you here? Go below deck. Go to the servants' quarters." "No," Elena shouted. "I will help you." "It's too dangerous." "I don't care. If you are fighting here, then I'm staying here."
Alexander looked at her. Elena was brave. She had nothing, yet she feared nothing. "Fine," he said, "but be careful." The pirate ship was close now, very close. Alexander could see them clearly, 40, 50 pirates, all armed with swords, axes, muskets. "Fire!" he ordered. The ship's cannons roared, but the pirate ship held strong. It kept coming. Pirates threw hooks and ropes onto the rails and began climbing. The battle began. Alexander drew his sword. The first pirate jumped on deck. Alexander clashed with him, steel against steel, sparks flying. Alexander was skilled and strong. He shoved the pirate back, overboard. But more came, dozens. Elena stayed on deck, holding a wooden staff. A pirate lunged at her. She swung, striking his head. The pirate stumbled. She struck again. He collapsed. Alexander saw it. Elena was fighting. She was risking her life for him. "Elena, watch out!" he shouted. Another pirate attacked Alexander. The two clashed. The pirate was strong, brutal. Alexander was struggling. The pirate pushed him into a corner. He raised his sword. Elena ran toward them. She struck the pirate's back with her wooden stick. The pirate turned,
glaring at her with fury. But at that moment, Alexander acted. He shoved the pirate away. "Thank you, Elena," Alexander panted. "We're fighting together," Elena smiled. But the number of pirates kept growing. The crew was being pushed back. The situation was bad. At that moment, the pirate leader jumped aboard, a massive man with a red beard and a scar-covered face. "I am Captain Red," he thundered. "Your ship is mine now." Alexander glared at him. "Never." Red laughed. "Little man, I like fighting. Come then." They faced each other. Red was incredibly strong. With his first strike, he pushed Alexander backward. With his second, he almost knocked Alexander's sword out of his hand. Alexander was struggling. Red's strength was overwhelming, but Alexander was faster. He slashed from the side and cut Red's arm. Red roared with anger and attacked even harder. Meanwhile, Victoria was in her cabin. The door was locked. She heard everything happening outside: screams, shouts, clashing blades. Victoria was terrified. She was trembling. Suddenly, her door was struck. "Open up!" A pirate. Victoria screamed. The door was struck again. The lock held for a moment, but the pirates kept pounding. Victoria panicked. What could she do? There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. She could only wait, crying. Finally, the door broke open. 3 pirates stormed in. They saw Victoria. They grinned, wishedly. "Well, well," one said. "A rich lady. She'll make a fine hostage." Victoria backed into a corner. Please don't touch me." "Come here," the pirate said, reaching for her. But then a shadow appeared. Elena. She still held the wooden stick. "Stay away from her," she shouted. The pirates turned. A servant girl was challenging them? They laughed. "And who are you, little girl?" "I'm the one who will stop you." Elena attacked. She struck the first pirate on the head. He staggered. She hit the second, but the third was fast. He grabbed her. "You little..." The pirate threw Elena to the floor. Victoria watched in shock. This servant woman was trying to protect her, risking her life for Victoria. Victoria made a decision. She grabbed the heavy candlestick on her desk. She approached the pirate and struck him on the head. The pirate collapsed. Elena gasped. Lady Victoria had saved her. "Lady Victoria! Come on, we must go." Victoria grabbed Elena's hand. The two ran out of the cabin. On the deck, the battle continued. Alexander was still fighting Red. He was exhausted, wounded, but he didn't stop.
Red delivered a final heavy blow. Alexander's sword flew from his hand. Red laughed. "It's over, little man. Now you die." But then a voice rang out. "Stop!" Everyone turned. First Mate Thomas had fired at the pirate ship. The cannonball shattered the pirate ship's mast. The mast broke and collapsed onto the sails. The pirate ship took heavy damage. Red roared, "Retreat! Our ship is hit!" The pirates began to withdraw. They climbed the ropes, jumping back to their own ship. Red glared at Alexander. "You're lucky today, but we'll meet again." Then he retreated as well. The pirate ship slowly drifted away, damaged but escaping. The battle was over. Alexander sank to the ground, breathing hard, bleeding, but alive. The crew cheered. They had won. Elena ran to him. "Captain, are you all right?" Alexander looked at her. She was unharmed. "I'm fine. You?" "I'm fine, but you're wounded." Elena tore a piece of her own pants and wrapped his arm. "Thank you, Elena. You're incredibly brave. You risked your life for me." Elena smiled softly. "You've done so much for me. I would do anything for you." Alexander looked at her. There was love in his eyes. "Elena, Alexander!" Victoria's voice. They turned. Victoria stood there, her dress torn, hair disheveled, but alive. "Victoria, are you all right?" Alexander stood. "I'm fine, but the pirates entered my cabin. I was terrified." Victoria's voice trembled. "Thank God you're safe." Alexander walked toward her, but Victoria looked at Elena. She saved me." "What?" Alexander was stunned. "Elena, she came into my cabin. She fought the pirates. She risked her life for me." Victoria looked at Elena. Her eyes were filled with gratitude and something else, respect. Alexander turned to Elena. You saved Victoria? Elena lowered her eyes, embarrassed. I only wanted to help. She is your wife. I had to protect her. Alexander was speechless. Elena had risked her life and saved his wife. Why? Simply because it was the right thing to do. Victoria stepped closer to Elena. Thank you, she said softly. You saved my life, even though you're just a servant. I may be a servant, but I am a human being, and people should help each other. Victoria looked at her. For the first time, she truly looked. This woman wasn't an ordinary maid. She was brave, kind-hearted, and she loved Alexander. She could see it. That night, the ship was repaired. The wounded were treated. Thankfully, there were no deaths, but everyone was exhausted, shaken. Alexander returned to his cabin. He sat down, thinking. Today, there were 2 women in his life. Both had been in danger, but there was only one he had truly feared losing. Elena. He had worried for Victoria, of course. She was his wife. It was his duty. But what he felt for Elena was different, deeper, stronger, real. When he imagined Elena dying, his heart had stopped. And what had Elena done? She had saved Victoria, his wife, her rival, because she wanted to do what was right. Alexander made a decision. He had to talk to Elena. He had to tell her the truth. The next morning, Alexander found Elena. She was cleaning the deck, as always. Elena, he said. Captain, Elena smiled. Are you all right? Your arm? I'm fine, Elena. I need to speak with you. Of course, Captain. Alexander took a deep breath. Elena, I need to tell you something. You are very special to me. When I talk to you, I'm happy. When I'm with you, I feel peace.
Elena's eyes filled with tears. I love you too, Captain. I have for a long time, but I couldn't say it. You're married, and I'm just a maid. No, Alexander said, taking her hand. You are not just a maid. You are the best person I know. Brave, kind, loyal. You are everything to me. Elena cried, tears of happiness. But what will we do? You are married to Lady Victoria. Alexander paused. She was right. He was married. A divorce would be a scandal. Society wouldn't accept it. But he couldn't live without Elena. I don't know, Alexander said. But we'll find a way. I promise. From that moment on, Alexander and Elena were secretly together. They talked, spent time together, but they were careful. Victoria must not know. But Victoria already knew. Victoria had seen everything. The way Alexander looked at Elena, the way Elena smiled at him. They loved each other, and Victoria had to make a decision. One evening, Victoria went to Alexander's cabin. She knocked. Alexander, may I speak with you? Of course. Come in. Alexander was surprised. Victoria wanted to talk. Victoria entered and sat down. Alexander, let's be honest. You don't love me, do you? Alexander froze. Why was she asking this? Please, be honest. Alexander took a deep breath. No, Victoria, I don't love you. I never have. Victoria nodded. She wasn't crying. I knew. I don't love you either. I never did. Then why did we marry? Because our families wanted it. For money, for status, but never for love. Victoria looked at him. But now you love someone.
Elena. Alexander wanted to deny it, but he couldn't. Yes. And she loves you. Yes. Victoria stood. Then be free. What? I'm releasing you, Alexander. Let's divorce. You can be with Elena, and I can live my own life. We are both unhappy. Why go on? Alexander was shocked. Victoria was suggesting divorce. But there will be scandal. Society doesn't matter, Victoria said. Happiness matters. You are not happy. I am not happy. But Elena makes you happy, and you make her happy. Why are you doing this? Victoria smiled, a genuine smile for the first time. Because Elena saved my life. She risked herself for me, because I am your wife. She is a good woman, and you deserve each other, and she deserves you. Alexander froze. Victoria was setting him free? Besides, Victoria added, I love someone too. What? Alexander was stunned. Yes, in Venice. A painter. His name is Marco. I've loved him for years. But because I was married to you, I could never be with him. If we divorce, I can go to him. Alexander understood now. Victoria was unhappy too. She loved another man as well. Both of them had been trapped in a loveless marriage. All right, Alexander said. Let's divorce. But how? When we arrive in Venice, there are lawyers. We'll prepare the documents, a mutual, peaceful separation without scandal. And then, you will be with Elena, and I will be with Marco, and finally, we will both be happy. Alexander looked at Victoria. For the first time, he respected her. Thank you, Victoria. You are a good woman. I'm just a smart woman. Life is too short to be unhappy. A week later, the ship arrived in Venice. Alexander and Victoria met with the lawyers. The divorce papers were prepared, mutual, respectful, and peaceful. Both of them would finally be free. Alexander told Elena everything. Elena couldn't believe it. Really? You're getting divorced? Yes. And after that, I want to be with you. Elena, will you marry me? Elena burst into tears, tears of joy. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Alexander lifted her into his arms and kissed her. It was their first kiss, real, passionate, overflowing. Years of loneliness melted away in that moment. Victoria went her own way. She found Marco in Venice. When Marco saw her, he cried, "Victoria, you came!" I did, Marco, and this time, I'm staying forever. Marco and Victoria married in a small church, with only close friends present. Victoria was happy. For the first time, truly happy. Alexander and Elena married too, on the ship, in front of the crew. Everyone clapped, everyone smiled, because everyone could see it. This was real love. Alexander was no longer just a captain. He was a happy husband. Elena was no longer just a servant. She was the captain's wife. But more importantly, they were happy together. Years passed. Alexander and Elena sailed across the seas. They had children, 2 daughters and a son. All of them grew up on the ship. All of them loved the sea. When Alexander turned 58, he retired. He bought a house in Naples, Elena's birthplace. They lived there in peace. Victoria and Marco lived happily too.
In a beautiful house in Venice, Marco painted while Victoria modeled for him. Their life was filled with art and love. One day, Alexander and Victoria met by coincidence at a market in Venice. Both were surprised. Then they smiled. "Alexander," Victoria said. "Alexander, how are you?" "I'm very well. And you?" "I'm good too. We live in Naples now, Elena and the children." "That's wonderful. Marco and I are happy here." They sat down for a coffee and talked about old days, the ship, the pirates, the chaos, and they laughed. "You know," Victoria said, "we made the right choice that day." "Absolutely," Alexander replied. "If we hadn't divorced, we would have stayed miserable." "And now we're both happy. You with Elena, me with Marco." "Yes, and it all started with that pirate attack." Victoria thought for a moment. "Yes, that day everyone showed their true face. Elena saved my life. You fought for her, and I understood what real love meant. Real love is sacrifice. Elena risked her life to save you, and you set me free. Both were sacrifices. And now we're all happy." Victoria smiled. They said goodbye. They never met again, but each knew they had taken the right step. Alexander died at 72, peacefully in Elena's arms. His last words were, "I love you, Elena, forever." "I love you too," Elena whispered. She cried, but they were tears of gratitude. She had lived the most beautiful years of her life with him. Elena died at 81, surrounded by her children and grandchildren. Her last thought was Alexander. "I'm coming, my love," she said and closed her eyes. They were buried side by side on a hill overlooking the sea in Naples. Their gravestone read, "Alexander and Elena Blackwood, met at sea, united by love, together forever." Victoria and Marco lived long lives too. Victoria died at 78, in Marco's arms. She said, "I was happy with you." "And I with you," Marco whispered. Marco died a year later. He was buried beside Victoria in a beautiful Venetian cemetery. Their gravestone read, "Victoria and Marco Rossini. Love conquers all." This was the story of two women, one destiny. Alexander had been forced to choose between two women, but in the end, he didn't choose. Destiny chose for him. Victoria was cold but clever, unhappy but brave. She set Alexander free because she knew forced love wasn't love. Elena was poor but warm-hearted, brave and loyal. She risked everything for Alexander, yet still saved Victoria because it was the right thing to do.
And Alexander, in the end, found true love, because true love always finds a way. This story teaches many lessons. First, an unhappy marriage helps no one. Second, loyalty is shown through actions. Third, courage is the key to happiness. Fourth, class differences don't matter. Love does. And finally, true love makes everyone happy. The pirate attack was a tragedy, but also an opportunity. That day, everyone revealed their true selves. Elena revealed her courage. Victoria revealed her wisdom. Alexander revealed his heart. In the end, everyone won. The story that began on a ship's deck ended with two graves. Graves filled with happy souls. Elena always said, "You gave me a chance. You gave me love. You gave me life." Alexander always replied, "You gave me happiness. You gave me peace. You gave me warmth." Victoria always remembered, "She saved my life, and in doing so,
she saved my happiness too. This is not just a love story. It is a story of rescue. 3 people freed from the wrong lives and guided to the right ones. If you ever go to Naples, climb the hill overlooking the sea. You'll see 2 graves, Alexander and Elena. And if the wind is strong, listen closely. You might hear Elena's song, the old Italian one, full of love, joy, and peace. Because true love never dies. It only changes form. It lives in a touch, a smile, a song. And Alexander and Elena's love still lives in every wave, every breeze, every sunrise. Forever.